Skenes could actually get traded, or at the very least, that is what Jeff Passan, the GOAT baseball insider, was saying just the other day on the Pat McAfee Show. Folks, welcome into Bad for Baseball, presented to you by Betway, the baddest baseball podcast on the internet. We're going to be talking about a Paul Skenes potential trade in this one, why it might make sense for the Pittsburgh Pirates, why it might actually happen, and then ultimately if they should or should not do it. Before we get into it, folks, please make sure to hit that like, smash the subscribe button, and of course, let us know your thoughts about all this in the comments down below. First things first, let's just remind the people how damn good Paul Skenes is at baseball, because holy mother of God, man, I don't think I've seen a starting pitcher come into the league and be this dominant off the hop. Maybe ever, actually.
I've never in my lifetime. Granted, I'm 27, so some of you guys are a little bit older might be like, oh, this guy, that guy. Oh, no, I haven't. I haven't seen it in my days. Paul Skenes, in just his, 33 games that he started, so that's just over a full season now. We've got the full season sample size of Paul Skenes.
Yeah, 195 innings, so basically one year.
1 year of Paul Skenes with a 2.12 ERA. I know, insane that we're talking about this guy like one of the greatest, and he's pitched one season, basically, with a whip of 0.94. So that's obviously very, very elite with a win-loss record. And this is the Pirates, by the way. Win-loss record of 14-8. So that's pretty elite. And this year is off to a good start. We're going to have a little Betway segment later talking about the odds. But he is right now the favorite to win Cy Young.
Yeah.
Paul Skenes, amazing. But you still got 5 more years of control of Paul Skenes. So the idea of trading him away at this point is kind of crazy if you're from the perspective of like, well, this is a great asset that doesn't just show up every day. You got to be able to use that asset to go and win a World Series. But the Pirates right now, they're ass. Like, to put it bluntly, they're ass right now.
The big problem is, you just said it, right? You got to use that asset to win the World Series. You got to use that asset to go and, actually be good at baseball. And that's just not what's happening right now over there with the Pittsburgh Pirates. On the hitting side of things, they are, you could make the argument, the worst team in baseball from an offensive standpoint. 30th in OPS, 30th in runs scored. There you have it, right? 29th homers, 29th average. Like, nothing is good from the Pittsburgh Pirates offense. From the pitching side of things, they're 11th in ERA. The big reason why is Paul Skenes. Like, he is the guy that is, primarily contributing to that. You got a couple other good ones in there. Andrew Heaney actually having a
Falter, Keller, like, they're all doing very good right now.
Pitchers, honestly, respect. But this is still not a good baseball team. And then you look at the bullpen, and there I see a decent chunk of 5 and 4 ERAs in there. So
it's not the greatest, not the worst.
It's not, right? When you have the 30th run scored from an offensive standpoint, you're just not going to go anywhere. So clearly, this Pittsburgh Pirates organization right now, they are not utilizing Paul Skenes to the best of their capabilities. And of course, that's got the people talking about why it might make sense to take that asset and move him to another team and just literally get an entire new offense.
Yeah, I mean, well, literally, if you move Paul Skenes right now, 5 years of control for a guy who's favored in Cy Young, who's 23 years old, like,
shit.
Literally will be the future of baseball. You're going to get a monster return, and that's exactly what Jeff Passan was saying on the Pat McAfee Show that you brought up earlier. Like, he said, I'm not advocating for this to happen because he still believes that he wants the Pirates to go out and compete, which they should.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're not doing that right now, why the ownership isn't going out and spending money, but, that's why he's not advocating. But if you did, you would get a monster return, because look at what we got right here. According to baseball trade values, they have a mock trade right now from with the Pirates and the Cubs. Cubs, they obviously need pitching. They've had some injuries in that rotation. They're looking to be competitive, and they're looking to build a dynasty over there. And what better pitcher to add to that team other than Paul Skenes? Right here, you could trade, and now, these names might not be familiar to most of you, but you could trade for literally their entire farm system.
Yeah.
They're number 1 in Matt Shaw. They're number 4, 5, and 6, and 7 right now. And let me put it in perspective. From 6 upwards, this top 6 right now in their farm system, that's all in the top 100 in baseball.
That is 4 top 100 prospects. Matt Shaw's in MLB right
Yeah.
now. He's the 18th ranked overall prospect. So, like, this guy's not a scrub. Like, everybody thinks that Matt Shaw and some of these other guys are going to be very, very good baseball players. All of them are on the offensive side of things. So, like, from a Pittsburgh Pirates standpoint, you look at your team, you go, okay, well, wait a second. We could hold on to Paul Skenes and we could probably just, run his career into the ground, or we could trade him and get an entire new lineup. And that's literally what would happen right there. So
Yes.
from, Jeff Passan's point, he's saying, yeah, I'm not advocating for it. I still think that the right thing to do is to invest in this team. But if you were to trade him, it wouldn't be the worst thing ever, because like you would literally revitalize your entire farm system.
Like, and I hear that, and here's the thing: like, the Pirates organization has been doing that for years. They did it with Garrett Cole. They did it with Glasnow. And now it's like you got Paul Skenes, which is arguably could be better than both of those guys, which is insane. But it's like they've been doing that for years. So the problem I think lies within the ownership of this team. That's where it relies. I mean, the whole goal is to win baseball games and to go to the World Series and to compete. They didn't do dog shit. They didn't do anything this offseason to go build a team and get an offense after you saw how good your pitching staff was with Paul Skenes in it. They didn't do anything. So, yeah, you could go trade, get a boatload of prospects back, but are you going to build around those guys? You know what I mean? Are you just going to trade those guys again? It's just a cyclical thing that's going to keep happening over and over and over again until the ownership either gets out of town or they make a decision.
Right, and there were, some reports recently talking about the idea of selling the team. The fans, they want it bad. And honestly, I agree with them because, I don't hate the idea of trading Paul Skenes now. I also don't hate the idea of going in on Paul Skenes if you're a Pittsburgh Pirates, because again, we brought it up. How often does a guy like that come out of your farm system? He could honestly be a once in a generation guy. This could be the next Max Scherzer. This could be the next Garrett Cole.
Blue Jays perspective. This is like your Roy Halladay right here.
You know what I mean? So it's like this is the guy to build around if you wanted to do that. So I like both options. It does feel, though, that whichever option they decide to do, they're going to do it wrong.
Because of the ownership.
Because the ownership is just not willing to invest the capital into the team that they need to actually build a winning culture.
No, and I'm with the Pirates fans out there, man. Like, they've been screaming it. They kind of did a little bit last year, and now they're doing it this year. Now they're chanting, Bob, sell the team, right? Referring to the owner, Bob. I actually don't know his last name. But, if they don't make a move and they're not selling the team to an ownership that actually cares about winning or that's willing to put money into this team, then they're going to be in the same position as always. And if that's the case, let me ask you this. If that's the case, if this team's going to be mid, and would I rather watch Paul Skenes every fifth day, at least I can have a little bit of enjoyment, or trade him away for 4 guys that maybe I have a chance they can all give more WAR than Paul Skenes would? What would you rather have? If the team will never be competitive, what would you rather have to enjoy watching a baseball game?
I don't know, man. You're asking from a Pirates fan standpoint?
Because I'm going to argue, if I'm going to be mid, that's mid's a generous thing.
They're worse than
If I'm going to be ass, would I rather just watch Paul Skenes pitch every fifth day and, maybe we can win?
Maybe. I mean, again,
that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel here, man. But, for me, I don't know. I don't know what the right thing to do is, and I think I'm with Passan. It's I'm not advocating for you to trade them. I think that something needs to happen because we're watching a generational pitcher right now who honestly could waste his, front half of his career just, dicking around in Pittsburgh. And I don't want this guy's innings, the quality innings that he's throwing, to mean nothing. Because the one thing that I would be worried about with Paul Skenes is eventually his arm falling off.
Yeah,
right.
You get wasting that arm. It's gonna get Tommy John.
Eventually, it will happen. And I don't want him to waste, all of these great innings that he's doing on a team that, like, is not going anywhere. Like, those innings, those 195 innings that he has mean nothing.
Yeah.
They actually mean nothing in the grand scheme of what's happening in the league.
You'll win a couple trophies, a couple pieces of hardware in the Cy Young, and that'll be it for, Paul Skenes. That's what it will be for. Now, if you are wondering if the Pirates are going to trade Paul Skenes, well, there was a source apparently here by John Heyman that Paul Skenes is not getting traded. Quote, no chance, no way, no how. So, I mean, yeah, if I'm from the Pirates' perspective, this is the one guy that's drawing a crowd. I'm gonna keep that guy.
Yeah, it's the thing, right? Like from their perspective, I guess they have some type of viewership on, their team right now, which is the first time that they've had that in years. Regardless, though, I mean, something needs to be done because you do not want to be wasting this guy's career. Speaking of Paul Skenes, and you were bringing up the trophies, he is right now the favorite on Betway to win the Cy Young Award. 3.5 times your money, everybody. If you want to hop on the Betway and place a bet on Paul Skenes to win Cy Young, then scan the QR code that is on the screen right now, everybody. Honestly, like, it's kind of between him, Yamamoto, and Zach Wheeler at this point. I know it's super early in the season, but, like, I believe in Paul Skenes, so I wouldn't be afraid to sprinkle a couple bucks down on that.
Yeah, like, Paul Skenes was the early favorite. Honestly, Yamamoto's playing out of his skin. Even though, Paul Skenes has been very good this year, like, Yamamoto's, like, he's doing, like, incredible work over there with the Dodgers. It's a good, you never know.
Kind of a toss-up.
It's a toss-up. It's a toss-up right now. We'll see.
Still, like, there could be another name that comes into things. We're still very early in this season. There's a lot of good pitchers there in the National League.
One injury and gone. You know what? Maybe take Paul Skenes because, Yamamoto will probably get injured at some point.
That's the thing, right?
The Dodgers are an injury factory.
Young arm over there. Like, right now, anyways, he's got the juice. Folks, let us know your thoughts about all this in the comments down below. Please hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, and, of course, we'll catch you in the next one.
Cheers.